Hello, everyone, and welcome to this tarot reading, which is all about what you need to finish in 2023 before moving on to 2024. So the way it's going to work is I will ask you to pick one of these crystals. I will go through what's what, and I will leave timestamps in the description section once you've chosen your crystal. Then for each crystal, I am going to pull one card from the Tarot Egiptico, and this will give us the theme of what it is that you need to finish or wrap up. And then for more detail about what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it, I'm going to be using the Marseille Tarot deck for every single group. All right, so let's have a look at our crystals. So group number one here on the far left, we have this yellow Icelandic spar. Just give you a close-up of this. Alrighty, then group number two, we have this pink Rhodochrosite. Yeah, Rhodochrosite. This is a rough piece of Rhodochrosite. Then in the middle, group number three, we have a piece of good old Selenite. Then to the right, group number four, we have some Amethyst. And then lastly, on the far right, group number five, this is a rough piece of Labradorite. Alrighty, so feel free to pause the video if you need to until you have chosen your crystal, and then use the timestamps in the description section to get your reading. Welcome, group number one. You chose the piece of yellow Icelandic spar, and now we're going to have a look at the tarot cards to see what is it that you need to leave behind in 2023. Let's take this one. La Alianza. So this card is about an alliance. It can be romantic or otherwise, but I see here the sign of Venus in the bottom corner. The number's 33, so 3 on its own is about creativity and expansion, but together they make 6, which is about stability. And we see in the bottom right corner, we've got the number 6 as well. We've got the letter E. So we're going to get a little bit more information about what is this alliance that you need to leave behind. So I'm just going to shuffle the Marseille Tarot deck, and I will be right back. Let's see, so the first card we have is so this is the 10 of coins. So 10s are about completion or an ending to something, so that's appropriate for this reading. But also the coins are about physical things, practical, tangible things. So it can be money, it can be property, anything that you could hold in your hand. So because the theme of this reading is something to do with alliances, and also because of Venus on just over here, I have the feeling that this was a mix of a romantic and business relationship. So for instance, a lot of people will start a business with their romantic partner. I feel that this relationship started off, I have the feeling that you were in one romantic relationship, and then maybe like you had an emotional affair or something like that. You started maybe dating someone or having feelings for someone else, and then expanded that to, hey, I think we can also have a business together. But I think, you know, in your heart of hearts, what you're doing is hurtful, if you're still in that initial romantic relationship, or if you've been leading someone on, making them think they could have a romantic relationship with you, and then actually you've gone after this second person and started a business or signed a contract. I really have the feeling that a lot of you have signed a contract. I think you felt really sort of smug and superior when you did that, but I think your morals are telling you, hey, I haven't quite gone about this in the right way. So let's get a bit more information. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So I would say that's maybe like a little bit of guilt. I think maybe initially thought, yeah, you know what, stuff this other person, I've got a better offer, all's fair in love and war kind of thing. But I think maybe some people have been whispering in your ear, or maybe your conscience has caught up with you and you've thought, okay, but I'm not really treating that first romantic partner very fairly. Maybe if you're spiritual, maybe you think, well, our religious texts say that I shouldn't, cheat on people, or I shouldn't deceive people, just being a decent human being. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't lead people on. So I think you've had a change of mind, or I think you have doubt. I think so. Initially you met the second person and you thought, yeah, I'm going to sign this contract with them. We're going to have this business deal. But now you have doubt and you think, what if there's punishment? What if, I personally don't believe in karma, but maybe you do. Maybe you think, God will punish me for not being a good spiritual person. And maybe you think just socially, I haven't gone about this business venture in the right way. I haven't treated my first partner in the right way. So let's get a little bit more information. And also I should say, it is suggesting, the cards are suggesting that you should end this business contract. Okay, so here we have the Three of Cups. So 3 has come up a couple of times. Up here we've got 33, which could reduce down to 6. Here I see we have these 3, I want to say they're monkeys. And then here we have 3 cups. Cups usually to do with emotions, and 3 again, creativity or expansion. This could be like a really festive card. But also potentially about, there being 3 of you. So here we have 2 people depicted, but there is this undertone of there's a third person, or there's another person, or yeah, it's going to be 2 of us, but it's not going to be you and I. It's going to be me and someone else. Let's see. Let's look at our last card over here. Okay, so very interesting. This is upside down. I don't usually have my cards upside down. So we have the Knight of Swords. Usually I have my cards the right way up. I don't usually do upside down readings, but if something has come up upside down, then I take it to mean that was meant to be upside down specifically for you. So upside down, basically the card means the opposite of what it traditionally means. So this knight, he's usually the fastest of the knights. He's in some other decks, he's really racing forward. Maybe might be a little bit reckless or a little bit aggressive. Swords are about the mind. Swords are about ideas, sometimes worry. The knights are about putting things into action. So the pages are usually about thinking about an idea. The knights are about acting on that idea, but this is reversed. So again, it's saying maybe like, don't go through with that idea, or maybe like abruptly cut that idea short. So in terms of what it is that you need to stop, the cards are suggesting, there's like a third person who maybe you had emotions for and you thought, oh, this person is a good business partner. But I think you're having doubts that the way you have gone about it, is not really a responsible way to do it. And the cards are suggesting just say no. I don't think you've signed the contract yet. I don't think you've done anything permanent yet. I think the cards are saying just say, you know what, I've come to my senses and no, we can't do this. We haven't really invested any money or any assets yet. So no, let's stop. Let's not go any further. That is what I'm getting for you, Group 1. Please let me know if that made any sense to you at all. But I wish you all of the best for the rest of 2023, and I wish you a happy new year. Welcome group number 2, who chose the pink Rhodochrosite. So now let's have a look at the tarot cards and let's see, what are you supposed to round off in 2023? So this is fragility. So traditionally, this is the tower, which is about upheaval or very quick upheaval, very unexpected. In the bottom right corner here, we've got 16, which either it's 1, which is about new beginnings, and 6, which is about stability, or together 7, which is more about introspection and some self-development. We also have the symbol for the planet Mercury over here. So Mercury can be about communication, negotiation, being very swift. That kind of ties in with this violent upheaval. And then down here as well, we have the symbol for Virgo. We're going to put this card aside, and then I'm going to use the Marseille Tarot deck to get a bit more information about what it is that you're supposed to be leaving behind. All right, let's see here. So here we have the Ten of Swords. So tens are about ending or completion, so that's quite relevant to this reading. Swords are about thoughts or maybe sometimes worries, but especially this card, this is about a definite ending and overkill. So you might know this is like the person lying face down with 10 swords in their back. So that person is 100% dead. They definitely did not need 10 swords in their back. 1 would have done the job. So normally if someone gets that card, it's like that is a definite ending. There is no going back. Now, to tie that in with the theme of fragility, in this deck here, the Tarot Egiptico, this card can be about if something was built on a rotten foundation, or if something was built on an unstable foundation. Let's say if you're building a building, for instance, it's not going to be long lasting. So it's maybe like finally just admitting this thing is not going to work. Let's just step away. It can also be about long-term spiritual benefit and not pursuing worldly things or tangible things, but putting the focus more on spiritual salvation. Now, fragility, when I saw that, my initial instinct was, I think you're afraid to speak. I think you're like a people pleaser, and you're very worried about, oh, what if I hurt people's feelings, or how will they react? I think you really fear backlash. If you tell someone, no, I don't like that, I don't agree with that, I don't want to do with that, I think you're really worried that people will snap at you and be verbally abusive. And I think that causes a lot of mental anguish for you. I think that's what we're seeing here with the Ten of Swords. But I think you're going to be brave, and you're going to take the first step in 2023. I think you're finally going to say, no, I please people, I bite my tongue, but it's at my own expense and it causes me so much inner turmoil. I'm not going to do it. So I'm not going to do it anymore. So I think this lightning strike is you maybe shaking the ground up and telling other people, you know, you've been comfortable at my expense. No more. What you're doing is wrong. I'm not going to take it anymore. And I think they will be shocked, but I don't think the consequences will be as bad as you think they are. So for instance, on a roller coaster, I find that when you're slowly going up and that dread of like, oh, we're going up so far, it's going to be such a terrible drop, that fear as you're slowly escalating is worse than the actual drop. The actual drop I find isn't even, that bad. So I think it might be like that you're finally going to say, you know what, I'm not going to bite my tongue and say everything is okay and accept all of these burdens and this unfair behavior. But let's move on. Let's get a little bit more information. So this is the High Priestess. She's quite an enigmatic character. She can be about dreams and intuition. She can be about hidden knowledge. So what is behind her, like this curtain here, and what you can know and what you know versus what you're not allowed to know. Sometimes she can indicate keeping a journal, maybe a dream journal. I think maybe with this 16 over here, if we add it together and get a 7, I think this card might be saying, look inward and be introspective and say, what would make me calm? What would bring me peace of mind, as opposed to how can I keep other people happy? Or I think for you most specifically, I think you don't want people to be angry with you. You don't want to be the victim of verbal abuse. I think you really fear a tongue lashing. That's not really a phrase that I usually use, but that is something that's really, that expression is not one I usually use, but it's really come to mind for this reading. So I think with the High Priestess, this reading is saying you need to put behind pleasing people at your expense, and you really need to be introspective and ask yourself, what would bring me peace of mind? What would bring me a deep sense of calm? And whatever that thing is, pursue that. Just like one-track minded, just be like, this is what will bring me peace. That's what I'm going to do. I don't give a damn. I'm not going to look left or right at what other people want of me or what other people think I should do or expectations that people want to unfairly put on me, whatever. I'm not even looking at that anymore. So let's have a look here. Yeah, so we have the Six of Swords. If you ever are reading the Marseille Tarot deck, if you're ever wondering which ones are the swords and which ones are the wands, because they look similar, the swords are the bendy ones. So if you think of like a bendy type of steel, the swords are the bendy ones, just FYI. But anyway, back on topic. So again, we've got a 6, like in 16. 6 is about calmness, about stability, longevity, and sometimes on this, on 6, especially on the Rhodochrosite tarot deck, the 6 is someone moving from choppy waters into calm waters. So I think certainly for your peace of mind, you're definitely going to make a change just focusing on what is good for your mentality. And also this flower here, for me, this is like something new, the start of something new. So you're really focusing on your peace of mind, definitely. And you're finally going to snap and tell people, you know what, I don't care what you want from me. It's completely unfair. It's unreasonable. I'm done with you. And that's that. All right, last card for your reading. So this is the King of Pentacles. So kings can be an older person, so maybe like someone retirement age. Kings are typically masculine, but kings, or I should say, sorry, pentacles are about material wealth. So maybe it's money, property, yeah, anything that you can like hold in your hand, basically. So I think maybe that's a bit more into 2024, but I think if you focus on your peace of mind, firstly, have calm, don't be having racing thoughts. I think everything is connected. So if you can have, drink every time I've said peace of mind, but if you can have peace of mind, if you can then regulate your emotions, because I find sometimes you worry. So again, the swords are about the mind, can be about worry. If you're thinking, I have to please this person, they'll be angry if I say no. You're always rushing around trying to think, how can you do what other people want? You don't have the time or the capacity to focus on yourself and say, okay, what is right for me in all aspects? What is good for me physically? What is good for me mentally? What are my business ventures? So I think first and foremost, focus on getting that peace of mind for yourself. And then I think you will have the time and the energy and the focus to work on your business or your earning potential. I think you maybe already have had an idea about a project that you should be doing at work, but you're just so busy with everyone else's nonsense, you've not had the time or the energy. Like you come home, you're so busy doing things for other people, and you're worried that you're going to be in trouble if you don't do what they ask of you. You never have the time to think about yourself. But I think if you make these changes here, you will be able to focus. That's a big word that's coming through. You will be able to focus on your own material gains. I hope that made sense for you. Please let me know if you want any more information. I wish you a happy new year and all the best for 2024. Welcome, group number 3, who chose the piece of Selenite. So let's have a look at the tarot cards and let's see what it is that you need to leave behind in 2023. Okay, so we have intercambio, which is about things that are interchangeable. So we have 30, which reduces down to 3. And above that, we see again the number 3. So this can be about creativity, expansion. It can be about choices and what's the saying, like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So things where you're like, a distinction without a difference, or tomato, tomato. We've got the letter C, and we have, I want to say, I'm just going to look up which planet this is because I don't want to give you wrong information. 1 second. Jupiter. So this over here is Jupiter, which is about luck, expansion. So that ties in very nicely with the number 3. All right, so I'm now going to look at the Marseille Tarot deck, and I'm going to get a little bit more information about what it is that you're supposed to leave behind. All right, let's see here. So we're starting with the King of Swords. So kings, I think, are really experienced. It can be an older person, maybe someone of retirement age, someone with masculine energy. But kings are, well, this king in particular is battle-hardened, but kings being older people are supposed to be wiser and more experienced. So looking at the theme of things that are interchangeable, I would say that maybe the king is talking about making a wise decision and cutting the others out. So instead of things being interchangeable, or instead of you picking things at random, not having a strategy, or here this looks a bit like an hourglass to me. And when the time runs out, you just flip the hourglass over. So you're just going in this perpetual cycle. I think it's about you saying, instead of, jumping from one thing to another. So maybe I've had the idea, if you are a content creator, especially if you're a YouTuber, I think maybe you've tried a lot of different topics. You've got one channel with many different things, or many different channels with many different topics. And I think you're just jumping from one thing to the other. You see, oh, makeup is popular. I'm going to do a few makeup videos. They didn't do so well. Okay, I see gaming is popular. I'm going to do a few gaming videos. That didn't work so well. Oh, I see this like children's comedy is popular. I'm going to jump to that. I think the king over here is saying, yeah, I think it's actually the king is like looking here and judging. Well, that's what it looks like to me. Not judging, but assessing. The king is assessing. So I think he's saying, instead of just jumping from one thing to the next, I don't have a plan. I don't stick it out. I'm going to pick one thing, and I'm really going to try. I'm going to focus all my effort. I'm going to do all the research. I'm going to have a strategy, because a big part of battle is having a strategy, not just running onto the battlefield, flailing and hoping for the best. You don't get to, live long and be the king if you've got no strategy and you're just relying on luck alone. So I think it's about cutting out the sort of like random, see what happens, and then you don't have a strategy. No wonder you're always stuck in place, not going anywhere. Let's get a little bit more information. So I should say, it did occur to me, what is the quote from The Art of War by Sun Tzu? It's something like, if you know yourself and know your enemy, you need not fear the result of 1,000 battles. If you know yourself but do not know the enemy, you will win 1/2 of your battles. If you know neither yourself nor the enemy, you will succumb in every battle. So I think without having the information, you've just been trying whatever. No wonder it's not working. I think that maybe sums up what I'm trying to say a bit more eloquently. And then we also have the Six of Swords, which came up before. 6 is about stability, longevity. So again, maybe picking one idea and sticking to it. And this flower in the middle, this does suggest new ideas to me. Sometimes on other tarot decks, this card will show someone on a boat and they're moving from choppy waters into calm waters. And the swords are also representative of the mind, thoughts, ideas. So maybe this card is suggesting that the way for you to grow, instead of having lots of little ideas, it's going to be quality over quantity. So just pick one idea, really nurture it, give it all of your attention, all of your resources, and that's going to be your key to success, and just cut out all the rest, like prune all of these other little branches that aren't going anywhere. Just focus on this one. Let's see here. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups. So cups are about emotions, and it's interesting that she's the Queen of Cups, but she has a sword, or I believe this is a sword, which works quite nicely with the King of Swords, although she is the Queen of Cups. So cups are about emotions, and the King and Queen are about mastering your emotions, but I think the Queen is a little bit more supportive. She's kind of like the person who you would go to speak to if you're really, upset about something, you don't know what to do. She's very supportive. So maybe look in your life for an older woman, maybe like 45 or older, or someone with a very like mothering kind of energy. Just think of who you know and think who seems to have their act together. Who's someone, I'm seeing like an older lady with like short curly white hair. I'm seeing she's a bit of like a larger frame. Just someone like very, very gentle, always very soothing, non-judgmental, just like a very like comforting person to be around, like a soft place to fall kind of person. I think besides them just providing emotional support, I think because they are, older and wiser, they may have gone through a similar thing in their life. So I think if you say to them, look, I'm really frustrated, I don't know what to do, I feel like this, hamster on the wheel just running in place. I don't know how to make a good decision. I don't know what the best option is. I think this lady here, she can be a source of comfort, but also a source of wisdom. I'm really seeing, she's got like the shorter sword here, or like the thinner sword. But I think that does symbolize her mentality and her intellect. I think she can be a source of comfort and guidance for you in terms of what to cut out. And maybe you have a little bit of fear. Maybe there are things that you've been trying and you're like, well, what if I let the wrong thing go? What if I stop doing, makeup tutorials and I quit just before like that really one amazing makeup trend that could, make my whole YouTube channel? I think you have a bit of fear about not necessarily what is the right thing to choose, but what is the right thing to let go of. I really think this lady here could help you with that decision. And here we have the Fool. And he has, I'm really being drawn. I remember some time ago I was doing like this tarot workshop, and one of the ladies in the class was saying that when she looks at the tarot cards, she always sees different things, or she's always drawn to different things in the cards. And in this case, we have the Fool, which is about new beginnings, maybe being a bit naive. But I'm seeing like two wands. I'm seeing like this like walking stick that he has, and he has this stick for his rucksack. And that's really what I'm noticing for you in this reading. Now, the wands in tarot can be about networking. It can be like leveraging your connections, having a support network. So I think that ties in with this lady here. I think if you make a new change, if you just ask for guidance, I think even just looking online, finding some forums, or just asking about your question, maybe finding like a Facebook group or a meetup group or something like that. I think you'll find if you want to make a change, you should consider, if you go into a new community, what community is there indeed? Is there like a workshop that you can attend in real life? Is there an online community for that kind of topic? And I think one thing that will inform you is letting go of things where you don't feel there is enough information, or feeling unsupported. If there are some communities where it's very competitive, people are very sort of demeaning. It's a very like zero-sum game where it's like, if I have more, therefore that means you have to have less. I think look to cut out those communities or those forums, and look to move into spaces, either online or digital, that have more of this lady's energy, where they are supportive, encouraging, like a rising tide floats all boats. So I have no problem helping you, and I trust that if there's any way that you could help me, or if there's a situation where you know more, you could, share that information with me. Look for something that is more collaborative than competitive. The things that are competitive, demeaning, really stressful, really focus on you have not, or you're going to lose, or you don't have enough, or you're not the best. Cut those communities out, cut those ambitions out, and focus on the things where there's more trade. So I think, yeah, I've just been drawn back to here where, you know, one person has the fruit, one person has the birds, and they seem to be trading, you know, cooperating, working together. Do more of this. So I hope that was useful. Please let me know if you have any questions, group 3. But otherwise, that's it for this reading. Thank you very much, and I wish you all of the best going into 2024. Hello group 4, welcome. So you chose the piece of Amethyst, and I'm now going to have a look at the tarot cards and see what it is that you need to leave behind in 2023. You have immortality to leave behind. So let's see, we're going to look at the Marseille tarot deck to get some more information. But I see we have 13 over here, which can reduce down to 4. Then we have, I think this is not meant to be 2. I think this is meant to be the symbol for Gemini, but of course it can also be the symbol for 2. And then over here, I believe this is the symbol for Mercury, but I will look that up. Yes, correct. So this here is Mercury, which can be obviously about things moving. Well, it's interesting. It can be about things moving quickly, but also this card specifically in this deck, it can be about inertia, and maybe I'm getting the idea of passive income, but obviously just inertia things, just the physics of it, keeping that item moving rather than always having to apply force to move it. This card in other decks is the Death card, which is more about like endings and new beginnings. So it's interesting that this one is immortality, which is more about something being cyclical, maybe setting something in motion and just letting it run without you having to put in too much more thought or effort. But let's have a look at the Marseille tarot deck, which I will use to get a bit more information about what it is that you are meant to leave behind. All right, so we begin with the Four of Swords. This card is about stability and a strong support network. So interesting. Interesting because, sorry, I'm losing my voice, 1 second. So we're trying to see what it is that you need to leave behind. Maybe it's having to work. Maybe it's things resetting. You know how some things are like automatic and manual, and automatic things, you just, set it and forget it and it just, does its thing. Whereas manual things, you need to constantly sort of wind that watch up, or you always need to like physically do that labor. So with immortality and the meaning associated with that, and with this being about stability and a strong support network, I think it's about automating things in your life. So maybe here with this person doing manual labor, well, if he had a tractor, that would be much easier for him. It'd be a lot less labor. Maybe it would take up less of his time. So I think it's maybe about business, and maybe it is just literally about new technology at your workplace. It might also be, because this is about a strong network, it might also, I was going to say that it might be having like new people who you could delegate to, but the Swords is about the mind and ideas. So I really think it might be being a bit flexible in your thinking, being a bit innovative in your thinking, and coming up with like a shortcut so that you don't always need to be doing this manual labor. So I know, for instance, when you program, very sorry if you don't program, if you want to repeat something. So let's say that I want to add 4 headings, for instance. I could code for a heading for individual times, or there is a shortcut that you can use where you put in like 4 headings and the code just magically generates for 4 headings instead of you having to manually type in heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4. So yeah, maybe it is just about innovation at work, finding a shortcut or implementing new technology. Let's get a little bit more information. Okay, so this is the 1 of coins, or the 1 of pentacles. Maybe it's a little bit more investment. So maybe you've had an idea and you're like, yeah, I'm going to buy this new thing. Maybe it's relatively cheap, let's say like $20 or something, because it is just, you know, the 1 of coins. It's not like a huge amount of money. And maybe you've said, you know what, it's such a small monetary investment and I'm going to get so much use of it. Things are going to be so much faster, so much easier for me. I do see you paying out of pocket. So if it is a workplace, I know there are some work expenses that the company will cover, but I really see you being like, you know what, I'm not going to argue with my boss and argue with HR and blah, 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 and try to like convince them that we need this thing, stuff it, it's only the small amount of money. I'll just pay from my pocket. The benefit that I will get is worth it. I can afford it. I'm really getting a business or like technology, or like physical items. So something like, I don't know, for example, this is a stupid example, but like, for instance, like, you know, buying a washing machine as opposed to like hand washing your clothes. I'm really seeing that it is buying some new like furniture or equipment or technology. But let us continue. Okay, so now these are the 2 of Wands, I believe. No, this is the 2 of Swords. Sorry. So with the Marseille deck, the swords are the bendy ones. The ones are the straight ones. So this is the 2 of Swords, and this is the 4 of Swords. So I really see this as breaking a deadlock. The 2 of Swords sometimes is like a lady at a crossroads and she's blindfolded. So basically she has to make a decision, but she needs new information. And I really feel that this coin here, this money, this new purchase, it's really going to break the deadlock. That was pretty straightforward. So let's have a look at our last card. Oh, we have the 1 of Cups. Good, so we have like 2 new beginnings here. So the Ace of Cups, I should say. So Ace is always about new beginnings, and Cups are about emotion. So this card is quite joyous. It's maybe not super obvious here, but so this is the cup and this is supposed to be water that is overflowing, like your cup is so full. The cups are supposed to be about emotion, so this is supposed to be a really joyous new beginning. So yeah, I think maybe breaking a stalemate, I think make this new investment. I think if you're physically aching, I do see for some people, if you do a manual job, at the end of the day, I'm really seeing your hands hurt, and for some people I see your shoulders hurt. So I really see buying this new invention or this technology, I really see you being really happy and being like, wow, the pain is gone, like I feel so much lighter, I don't feel I'm not like so, hunched over and in pain at the end of my working day. I really see you buying this new technology, really, really being worthwhile. But if you do pay out of pocket, do make it very clear this is your personal item. Maybe like even keep the receipt. You don't want potentially when you leave the company, someone being like, oh, that's company property. The hell it is. If you bought it with your own money, make it very clear from day one, this is my private property. I decide who gets to use it or if anyone else gets to use it. If it's yours, keep it in your desk or put it in a drawer or your locker or whatever it is. It is your item. Don't let people assume that they can help themselves, borrow it and not return it. No. This is your item. You are 100% entitled to it. It's going to bring you a lot of joy. It's yours fair and square. Don't let anyone pretend, oh, sorry, I didn't know it was yours. I thought it was company property. I thought it was for everyone to use. No. Don't take that. Like from day one, make it known this is your thing. You've got the receipt. Maybe other people can borrow it with your permission, but they'd better give it back to you in a timely manner and in the condition that you lent it to them in, because it's yours to enjoy. So that's it for you, group number 4. Please let me know if that made sense to you. I wish you all the best with your decision and all the best going into the new year. Welcome, group number 5, with the piece of rough Labradorite. So we're now going to have a look at what is it that you need to leave behind in 2023. Now, normally I would cut the cards just like somewhere in the middle, but like something is really telling me that for you, you need to see the bottom card. So we have impediments. So let's see. We've got the number 4. So we actually have the number 4, or we have 31, which reduces down to 4. You have either together CH, or it could just be C or H. And then we have a planet. I'm going to have to look up what this is. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Give me 1 second. I'm back. So this planetary symbol, this is Uranus. So this is the sky god in Greek mythology. Uranus and Gaia give birth to the Titans. Uranus is also the planet of Aquarius. So it can be associated with being an individual, standing out from the crowd, maybe being a bit unconventional. But we're looking at this card in relation to what it is that you have to leave behind in 2023. So to do that, I'm going to use the Marseille Tarot deck to give us a little bit more information about who, what, when, where. All right, let's see what we have here. Alrighty, so this is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is usually something that's given, like a gift or something that you just find or happily stumble into. The coins are about material things. So it could be money, it could just be like a physical gift, it could be anything sort of tangible or material. But this is about what to leave behind. So let's see, let's get a little bit more information. All right, so we have the 10 of coins. So again, something practical, tangible, and 10s are about completion. So I have the feeling these two together, I think it's saying leave behind if you already have something really old, which you're used to, but it's unfulfilling, or maybe it's a bit outdated, it's been superseded by something new. I think it's saying just make a practical decision, just get rid of these like older, outdated things and really focus on this new thing here. So to tie it in with impediments, and with Uranus being about being a bit unconventional, marching to the beat of your own drum. If everyone does things a particular way, so let's say everyone uses a particular software at your job, or I don't know why this example just popped into my head. If you knit or if you sew, if everyone uses a particular kind of stitch to do something, and you're like, no, I don't want to stitch like that. I want to try a new way. Definitely go that new way. I'm definitely noticing these sort of like branches coming out of this coin. It will definitely be beneficial for you. I think you can create something new and beautiful, something striking. So yeah, I think don't let like old dusty ways kind of tie you down, make you feel unfulfilled, make you less productive or less effective than you can be. And now why I can already tell this card is upside down. 1 second. I don't really know that it matters, but so this is the 6 of Wands, and I normally keep my cards the right way up. So if one of them has come out to be upside down, that usually means that specifically for you it is meant to be upside down, so I will read it that way. But if it wasn't for this here, I wouldn't have realized it was upside down because it's identical. So the 6 of Wands, So the Six of Wands is sometimes called the victory card. It is one of the like minor arcana victory cards. So it doesn't have to be like a huge, like resounding, victory, but it could be like something good, something positive. But it was reversed, and the theme here is impediments. So tying everything together, I think you can see what other people can't. So let's say you want some new software at work, and everyone is saying, but this one works, it's been very successful, it's an award-winning software, or we've won awards at this software. I think you can see the next like up-and-coming thing. You can see it has so much more potential, so many more features. So I think these two cards here, it's saying maybe if this software or this like old way of doing things, whatever it is, has some drawbacks that people, usually overlook, I think be objective, document that, and be like, look, these are some places where it falls short. This is ways that it is restrictive. These are some things that we can't do with it. Remember when it actually caused this problem for us. Rather than being frustrated and being like, oh, these people, they're stuck in the ways, or I don't have the seniority to make them do what I want them to do. Instead of being frustrated and disheartened, really document objectively, bring your evidence. This is a time when this system or this process, this item has fallen short, and really use that to strengthen your argument that people should follow your lead. And you may have to go it alone. So it may be something like saying, I'm going to be the case study. I'm going to go first. Just give me, a trial run. And if it works for me, then everyone can adopt my way. If it doesn't work, then other people don't have to do it. But you may need to take the lead and be the pilot. Let's see here. All right, so we have the Seven of Wands. So 7 usually is about some introspection, some self-development. This card can be about, I wouldn't really say an uphill fight, but it can be, I think, about having to show evidence. It's usually like one person, that's like this person here in the middle with their wand, and usually they're like doing battle or jousting with the people with the other wands. So it can be really convincing people, again, to do things your way. Or it can be if you have like a lot of bureaucratic red tape, or if you need to convince a particular person and like, oh, this person is never going to go for it, they're so set in their ways, or they just don't like me. It might be saying, you know what, I'm just going to bypass this person. I'm just going to do it anyway, or I'm just going to like seek approval behind their back. But it's time to leave behind impediments. And if there is this process that doesn't work, or there's this person that's just stuck in the mud, and we're just, having the same frustrating conversations over and over again, and they never listen to me. It's saying, you know what, don't do that method anymore. Don't take that road anymore. I really get the idea that your impediments come from people, and people shown here. I really think your impediments come from people being stuck in their ways and just reaffirming, just one person saying, oh, this thing doesn't work, or this thing is the best, and other people just nodding and saying, well, I trust so-and-so, like they say that thing doesn't work, so therefore it doesn't work. I really feel your impediment has to do with other people, and I really feel that your solution or your salvation comes from a new method or a new technology. And while these people are relying on words and ideas and just repeating, you know how there are some like popular ideas that people repeat, but they're not true. So for instance, the idea that like, oh, goldfish like have, poor short-term memory, like that's something that's repeated a lot, but it's not actually true. You might be surprised to learn it's not actually true. So I think these people are just repeating the same ideas. Whereas if you have evidence on your side, if you have test results and you can say, well, this belief is outdated or it's incorrect, show your evidence, and you may need to lead the way and be the first one to say like, look, I'll prove it to you. I'll show that it works. So yeah, I think it's time to leave behind these impediments and maybe don't even have these arguments. Just do your own thing. Seeing is believing. Yeah, I think that's the takeaway for you, Group 5. So I wish you all the best. This sounds frustrating, but I hope that the end of the struggle is in sight. Thank you for stopping by, and I wish you all of the best going into 2024.